Good morning, students. Today we shall learn another product of vectors. Earlier we have learned scalar product of two vectors. Today we will learn vector product of two vectors. It is called vector because the result is another vector quantity. So let us consider there are two vectors A and B. If A and B are the two vectors, then A and B, when they undergo vector product, the result is another vector C. If vector A and B are two vectors, then vector product of these two vectors is written as vector A cross vector B. You have to read it as cross, not into. It is cross. Vector A cross B is equal to vector C, where C is the resulting vector. So the product of these two vectors gives rise to the result, which is also another vector. But this is interesting. This third vector, which is the result of the vector product of A and B, is lying perpendicular to both vector A and B, such that vector C is magnitude of A, magnitude of B into sin theta. N cap, the n cap is the unit vector which is perpendicular to these two vectors A and B. So I will write, therefore, vector A cross B, it is read as cross. Vector A cross B is equal to magnitude of A, magnitude of B into sine of angle theta between them into unit vector n, where theta is the angle between vector A and vector B. These two vectors are at two different angles. They are not acting in the same direction. They are at two different directions, acting at a point with some angle theta between them. And n cap represents the direction of this C. N cap represents the direction of result. N cap represents the direction of result. N cap is unit vector in the direction of C. That is, what is C? A cross B. What does it mean? Let us say. Suppose this is a vector A and another vector B. A cross B. So if you turn A towards B, this should be A, this should be B. Okay, I will draw once again. Suppose this is a vector A and this is vector B. The angle between them is theta. Then A cross B is perpendicular to both A and B. This is vector C. This vector C is A cross B. And the unit vector n is the magnitude 1 into 12 is of magnitude 1 in the direction of C. So this represents the direction of the vector product. How to remember this? Think that there is a screw. right-handed screw. If there is a right-handed screw, if you turn the right-handed screw, then it will be pointing upwards. Suppose this is the head of the right-handed screw and this is the screw. In the head, you assume that these vectors are lying. This is vector A and this is vector B. Yes. Then if you turn this A towards B, turn this A towards B means you are turning the head in this direction. When you turn the head in this direction, since it is a right-handed screw, you see, the screw advances in the upward direction. The screw advances in the upward direction. So this is how we understand the direction of the resultant vector C. Resultant vector C. This is the right-handed screw. So to find the direction of C, we have to use right-handed screw, or we can use our right hand palm. Open your right hand and curl the fingers along A towards B. Curl the fingers A towards B like this. When you turn the fingers A towards B, the thumb shows the direction of C. You can see the thumb. The thumb points in the direction of C. Right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule. Or you can stretch these two fingers. If you turn this, suppose this is vector A. See, this forefinger represents vector A and the central finger represents vector B. Then the thumb represents the vector C. When you turn it, it is representing vector C vertically upwards. Suppose this forefinger is vector A and central finger is vector B, then the thumb points in the upward direction. That is the right hand thumb rule. Suppose I draw it separately. This is the thumb and this is vector B and this is vector A. Turn towards A towards B. Then it will be pointing in the upward direction. Means this resulting vector is perpendicular to both A and B. Perpendicular to both A and B. Think that A and B are lying in the plane of this head of the screw. So when you turn the head of the screw, right-handed screw, see, it points vertically upwards. It advances in the vertical upward direction. So that gives you direction of the A cross B product. So you can show the thumb like this and the remaining fingers you can just show like this. This is your right-handed screw rule. So the thumb points in the vertical upward direction. This is the direction of A cross B. That is C. So right-handed screw rule. Right hand thumb rule. These are helpful to find the direction of A cross B. A cross B, that is the direction of vector C. Then suppose the vectors are in the opposite sense. Suppose this is vector A and this is B. Then A cross B in that way. Then open the fingers in which you are showing the A first and then B. Turn the fingers A towards B, then the thumb points downwards. In that case, it becomes vertically downwards. So that is, in this case, it is going to be B cross A. You see here, this is B and this is A. If you turn B towards A, in the clockwise sense, if you turn B towards A, then what happens? This is B, this is A. Then the thumb points downwards. That is negative direction of minus C. It is going to give you B cross A equal to minus C. A cross B, if it is giving you C, then B cross A gives you minus C. Magnitude is same. A cross B, magnitude is A B sin theta. A B sin theta is magnitude, but the direction is different here. So commutative law doesn't hold good for cross product. Whereas in case of scalar product, we have learned vector A dot vector B is equal to vector B dot vector A. That is called scalar product. So scalar product is commutative, whereas vector product is not commutative. Let us learn some of the properties of vector products. First, we will write what is the magnitude of A cross B. Magnitude of A cross B, I will write it as magnitude as modulus. Modulus of A cross B is equal to AB sin theta. N cap is not there. If you multiply this with unit vector n cap, then it is the exact vector product, which includes both magnitude as well as direction. It includes both magnitude as well as direction. So only magnitude is A B sin theta. And second one, the direction of A cross B is in a plane perpendicular to both vectors A and B. Means suppose vector A and B are in a single plane, then vector A cross B is C. That C is perpendicular to plane containing A and B. It implies A cross B is perpendicular to A also, A cross B is perpendicular to B also. Is in a plane perpendicular to both A and B, which is shown by n cap, unit vector n cap. Okay. Now let us learn the properties. Properties of vector products. Here, vector A cross B is not equal to vector B cross A. Means the cross product is not commutative. Cross product is not commutative. Cross product is not commutative. Why? Rather than A cross B, we know that A cross B is vector C. Then just now I said what is B cross C? Sorry, what is B cross A? B cross A, if you find out, see here, this is B and this is A, right? And this is the angle theta. If you turn B towards A, look here, the thumb points vertically downwards. Right-handed curling of the fingers. If you curl the fingers from B to A, curl the fingers from B, open up your right hand with your thumb perpendicular, curl the fingers B towards A. See the thumb points downwards. So if you turn B towards A, then this is going to be the vector which is now is going to be vector minus C. Whereas B cross A gives us minus vector C. Magnitudes are same, but only direction is exactly in the opposite direction. Therefore, vector C, we know that vector C is not equal to minus vector C. Therefore, A cross B is not equal to B cross A. But rather than we can write A cross B is equal to minus of B cross A. That is C is equal to minus of minus C. Minus of minus C, that is giving us C. So A cross B is equal to minus of B cross A. Therefore, A cross B is not equal to B cross A. It is not commutative. This is very important. Whereas it is not even associative also. It is not associative also. But it is distributive with respect to vector addition. You see, we have learned even in the case of scalar product. Scalar product of consider A vector, B vector, C, 3 vectors. Then vector A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. So scalar product is distributive. Similarly, the vector product is also distributive. Vector product is distributive with respect to vector addition. What does it mean? What does it mean? A cross B plus C. 3 vectors are there. Suppose A cross B plus C is there. This we can write it as, by applying the distributive property, as A cross B plus A cross C. A cross C. This is the distributive property. Even scalar product also obeys distributive property with respect to vector addition. So these are the properties. Now we have learned A cross B is equal to AB sin theta, right? Magnitude of A cross B is equal to AB sin theta. Now if you take cross product of same vectors, if it is A cross A gives us A into sin 0. Why? The angle between the same vectors is 0. Then A cross A becomes 0. Similarly, B cross B becomes 0. C cross C becomes 0. I think you got the point. Because it depends not only on the magnitudes of the vectors, it also depends on the angle, sign of the angle between the two vectors. Sign of the angle between two vectors. If you rotate the vectors in the clockwise sense, then the thumb goes up. Anti-clockwise sense. Then the thumb goes up. Then it gives you positive result. If you rotate the vectors in the clockwise sense, when you rotate the vectors in the clockwise sense, then the thumb goes down. So that gives you negative product. I think you got it. If you rotate the vectors in the anti-clockwise sense, you see the thumb points upwards. So that gives you positive product. If you rotate the vectors in the clockwise sense, then the result will give you negative cross product. So please remember this. This is very important. Now let us see further. Product of vector with itself. Suppose these are the two vectors A. Product of parallel vectors or product of vector with the same vector. Then it gives you result 0, null vector. So A cross A gives us 0. Why? because A cross A can be written as magnitude of A into magnitude of A. Magnitude of A into magnitude of A gives us A square. A square into sin 0. A square into sin 0. Sin 0 gives us 0. So therefore it gives us 0. Right. Now in the same way, using unit vectors, we can write. You see, we know the unit vectors. I, J, K. I cap, J cap and K cap are the unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. They are mutually perpendicular unit vectors. The angle between them is 90 degree. Then in such case what happens? First let us say if it is I cross I using the above property. So this one I am going to write with respect to above property. I cross I. In the same way I can write I square. I square is 1. I square into sin 0. Sin 0 is 0. So I square is nothing but 1 into 1. So you can write it as 1 into 0. So 1 into 0 is 0. Therefore I can conclude I cross I equal to J cross J equal to K cross K equal to 0. So it gives you null vector. Multiplying the vector with the same vector, if it is a vector product, it gives you null vector. Now if it is I cross J, then what happens? I cross J, look at this. I cross J, look at this. The angle between them is 90 degree. So I can write 1, magnitude of I is 1, magnitude of J is also 1 into sin 90. Sin 90. And what is the unit vector perpendicular to I and J? Unit vector perpendicular to I and J is K. So if it is I turn towards K, I turn towards J. If I is turned towards J, see the curling of the fingers. When the 4 fingers curl I towards J, then it is resulting into K. So this gives you K cap. So that is I cross J is equal to K cap. Similarly, if it is J cross, see I cross J gives you K cap. J cross K gives you what? Again, if you turn J towards K, you see, you will get I. J towards, see this is J and turn towards K, it gives you I. Similarly, J cross K in the cyclic order, I am following the cyclic order. J cross K gives us I cap. Following the same method. K cross I in the same cyclic order. K cross I in the same cyclic order. K cross I gives us K cross I gives us J. So if I can conclude, if I cap, J cap and K cap occur cyclically, if they are occurring in a cyclic order, then the resulting vector is positive, perpendicular to both. Resulting vector is positive, perpendicular to both the vectors. Now if you change the order, let us say if it is J cross I, if you are coming from J to I, you see it is now pointing inwards. If it is pointing outwards, it is plus K. If it is pointing inwards, it is minus K. So I am writing here. This is J cross I. You are in the opposite sense. J cross I is equal to minus K. K cross J. K cross J. Again you see it is in the K cross J. It is in the clockwise sense. If you are following the clockwise sense, then you will get the negative result. K cross J is equal to minus I. Then I cross k. I cross k. I cross k gives you minus j. I cross k. This product gives you minus I cross k gives you minus j. So you can conclude here, if on the other hand, if I, j, k do not occur in cyclic order, then the resulting vector is negative vector. Perpendicular to that, resulting vector is negative vector perpendicular to those two vectors. So these properties are helpful while we are actually calculating the cross product of two vectors in the component forms. Now let us calculate cross product of two vectors in the component forms. So I cross j is equal to k, j cross k is equal to I, k cross I is equal to j when it is in the cyclic order. If it is in the not in the cyclic order, if it is in the anti-clockwise sense, if it is in the anti-clockwise sense, it is fine, it is giving you positive vector. If it is in the clockwise sense, if it is in the opposite sense, then it will give you negative vectors. So please remember this diagram. The moment you get any cross product, you must immediately draw this I, j, k mutually perpendicular vectors, and immediately draw I cross j equal to k, j cross k is equal to I, k cross I is equal to j. If you draw the diagram very easily, you can remember in the perfect order. If order is reversed, then you will get negative vector. Let us see cross product of two vectors in the component form. Let us see if the vectors are given in the component forms. Suppose vector A has axi, ayj, azk as the components, ax, ay, az, and vector B has bxi, byj and bzk as bx, by, bz as the xyz components. If we want to have the cross product of these two vectors, then what is vector A? Just write it. What is vector B? Just write it. Vector A cross vector B. Then apply the distributive property. ax, bx. ax, bx, I cross I. We know I cross I gives us 0. Plus ay, ax, by. ax, by. ax, by, I cross j. I cross j. I cross j gives us k plus ax, bz. ax, bz, I cross k. I cross k. See here, it is in the reverse order. I cross k gives you minus j. So like this we will get 9 terms plus start with ay, bx, j cross I plus by, j cross j also gives us 0 plus bz, j cross k gives us I. So like this, still 3 terms of z, az, bx, k cross I plus az, by. You have to follow the order, don't break the order. You have to follow the perfect order. az, by, k cross j plus az, bz, k cross k. Straight away out of these 9 terms, you see three terms are going to be 0. I cross I is 0, j cross j is 0, and k cross k is 0. So these are all 0. So you will be left with only 6 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 terms. I cross j give you k. So I cross k give you j. I cross j. A x b y k cap. I cross j give you k plus. So it will be confusing. So I suggest you draw quickly I, j, k and follow the cyclic order. I cross j gives you k. I cross j gives you k plus ax bz. I cross k. You see, if you are going in the reverse order, then it becomes minus j. J cross I give you minus k plus ay bx minus k cap. So you have to be very particular about this sign. Then plus ay bz into j cross k. J cross k gives us I. J cross k gives us I. Positive I. Plus az bx. K cross I. K cross I gives us az bx. K cross I give you positive j plus az by j. K cross j. See, k cross j give you negative I. K cross j means in the clockwise sense. If you go in the reverse order, you will get negative I. K cross j give you minus I. So az by minus I cap. So now you can simplify this. K one side, I one side and j one side. Ay bz, I is there. Ay bz and one more I is there. Yes. Minus az by I cap plus. Where is k cap? Yes. Ax by. Okay, we have to search for j. So j. So this one. Oh yes, az bx. Az bx positive value, and this is ax minus